Hello guys, this is Avcoor. I'm back after some hiatus, but this is an important video, so let's get into it. So, we're literally almost at the end of the crossover. We have like a few days of this, and then it's done. So, what I want to talk about is, was this a good banner, and why it was and why it wasn't? So, for me personally, I actually didn't like the crossover banners for a couple of reasons. The first reason is this is limited. So let's go into my account and I want to show you something. So here we are at weapons, right? And we can just put on filter and we can go straight to Sephiroth. So let's get Sephi, let's confirm, let's filter. So here we are. We have Kuja Spirit Blade at OB3. So it's a good weapon. It's solid, it's decent, but the only way you can actually increase the stars of this weapon is through weapon parts. It's not even through wish list. It's not even through. I can even show you, which really hurt me, but it is what it is. So if you go to the exchange shop and you do weapon exchange and you go to Sephiroth, you cannot use these to exchange for Spirit Blade. This is what upset me the most. I mean, you spend money to get these guys. You don't get them for free, right? So why couldn't you just buy and pay in order to get Sephiroth's limited edition weapon? I'm sorry, but that hurt me really bad. So I'm speechless as far as that goes. So the only way theoretically, when this banner ends, you can build this weapon is that you use weapon parts. And weapon parts are even more expensive because the packs that they belong to are like 60 to 30 bucks a pop. And no one ever wants to spend that much money in one go. So that's one of the biggest flaws I think that is from this whole event is the fact that when you get these weapons, I mean, you're just going to have to use weapon parts. And that's the only way. They give you like pieces to OB them, but it's not enough. That's 31. That's not enough. That's not enough. It's really not enough. I'm sorry. That's the biggest thing that really hurt me about this banner is the limited ways that you can build these weapons outside of just summoning for them. So this was a big cash grab and it worked. We spent money on these weapons, and I hate to say that some of them were not worth it. I did a comparison video, and I even said that Sephiroth's weapon is the best, and by far it is. But there's a problem with Sephiroth's weapon. It's not that it's a bad weapon, it's the fact that Sephiroth got it. So when you look at Sephiroth's overall kit, so we can go to wish list, let's go to Sephiroth. Alright, so Sephiroth actually benefits from having some of the best weapons in the game because it does what he wants them to do, which basically is DPS, right? So if you want to do physical DPS, you have a weapon for that. You have Dark Heavens. So at when you hit OB10, you're getting to 40, 36. So if you invest in this weapon, you get it to OB10, you're going to get 40 points of physical attack. That's more than enough for you to reach the 55 bin you need in order to get the max. So let's go to Edge Wings. Edge Wings is a great DPS weapon. It hits the 40, 36 that you need in order to get the maximum amount of magic attacks. So you only need 15 points outside of that. And that's pretty easy to do. So these are good weapons. Like, even Nameless gives him the HP boost that he wants. It actually gives him 40 points of HP. So these weapons are doing what they need to do. The problem with this is when you factor in Kuja Spirit Blade, it's a great weapon. It's a great skill. It's really good. Sephiroth doesn't really need it. If you look at this weapon in its entirety, Sephiroth really doesn't need it. He doesn't need all the stuff that comes with it. He really doesn't need it. He doesn't need to be an AoE attacker. He's a single target attacker. Some of his best weapons are single target. Like even Northern Lights, which is the physical attack down weapon, is single target. And it does a great job for what you're asking it to do. So this is my favorite weapon by far, but this too is doing what you want it to do. It's giving him the 40 attack boost and the boost ability potency. So it's doing what it's supposed to do. His kit is already doing what it is supposed to do. He doesn't really need an AoE attack that drops down physical attack and magic attack. It's great. It makes Sephiroth great, but Sephiroth's so great that he doesn't need to be any greater, honestly. And that's the scary part about this banner is the fact that they chose characters that were already good. So let me put it in perspective. Imagine if Lucia got this weapon and was able to do an attack like Flare Star. I mean, that would like set her through the roof. Like if Barret got this weapon, which I thought it would really be good on Barret. This is the weapon that Barret could really have used. But it's on Sephiroth, and Sephiroth can do like DPS. He can do AoE DPS. He can do physical DPS. He can do magic DPS and do the whole package. I mean, he can do almost everything except heal. So this was a bit excessive. Like for instance, Aerith's rod. Aerith really does not need this rod. This is not necessary for Aerith. If you look at Aerith, Aerith has everything in her kit in order to succeed, right? So if you look at Aerith's kit, so she has one of the best debuffing weapons in the game, which actually drops physical defense and it drops magic defense. And if you OB10 it, it hits the 40-36 that she needs in order to, if you wanted to, for her to be a magic-based attacker. That's insane. She already has one of the best healing weapons in the game. It's doing everything she needs in order to heal. Those are the two weapons that you would want on her most of the time. And if you wanted to go defensive, she has a defensive weapon that buffs physical defense and magic defense. Already, she doesn't really need a weapon that does that. In fact, it's a bit excessive. It's a bit excessive to give her something that she really didn't need. She really didn't need Garnet's Rod. Like, imagine someone like Red 13 having this weapon. It wouldn't be the best weapon, but it would make him better. Aerith is so good that she really didn't need to get any better. She didn't even need the costume, honestly, because you have Rosie Battlesuit, which does healing. And then you have the Chocobo, which gives her HP. She really didn't need another costume. So that's the thing that sucks about this banner is they gave weapons to people who already had really great weapons and stat lines and kits. Like, let's look at Cloud. Cloud really didn't need this weapon. Okay, imagine if Zack had this weapon. I thought this would be a perfect weapon for Zack. Why couldn't Zack get the Zion costume? I know that Cloud's a flagship character, but Zack had his own game. I liked it. I liked Zack's game. I thought it was great. But you know, I'm a real Final Fantasy fan. I liked. Okay, I'm gonna say it. I like the game with. Oh, what's his name? No, I didn't. The guy who transforms, Dirge Cerberus. I like that game. Vincent, I like that game. I'm sorry, I actually liked it. I don't care what you guys think. I like Dirge the Cerberus. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it could have been better, sure, but Vincent is a great character. Anyway, imagine if they actually gave this weapon to Zack. Zack could have really used this weapon more so than Cloud. And that's the problem with this banner. They gave weapons to people that really didn't need it. I mean, honestly, did Tifa need Amulet Claws? Tifa really didn't need Amulet Claws. She really didn't. Okay, imagine if your boy Matt could get a weapon like that. He actually has some offensive potential. I'm just saying, the skills and the weapons and the overall abilities that they gave these characters, they didn't really need. In fact, I actually cleared Black Waltz, not even having his weapon, not even having Cloud's weapon. Excuse me. I didn't need it. Cloud was already good enough. I'm going to be honest. This weapon can get it done. If you have Apocalypse, I have Apocalypse at 2 stars. And you combine it with the stats from Cloud's Murasame at OB6 or OB9, which I have it at. That's enough. It was enough for him to get the job done. So that's my biggest complaint about this banner. It's the fact that the characters really didn't need it. Sephiroth didn't need this weapon. Aerith didn't need her weapon. These guys really didn't need it. They really didn't need it because they were so strong that they really didn't need these weapons. It was a bit excessive to me. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, use some other characters. I mean, this is just absolutely ridiculous. I think Sephiroth's a better character for it, but it's a bit much. But anyways, what are your thoughts? Was it worth it? Do you think these weapons could have been on other characters? Anyways, if you like my content, hit the like, share, subscribe button. I'll get back to you. Laters.